Hello everyone, welcome to Ebenezer Tutorials. In this video, we will be looking at the concept of exception handling in Python. So we'll start. Before we go into exception handling, we will just see what is the assert statement in Python. So in case I declare a variable a and I assign it the value as 10. Now I want to ensure that some condition is true in my code, so I will use the assert statement in such situations. So I want to ensure that the value of a is lesser than 20. So how will we write it? Assert a lesser than 20. So this is just a way of checking to ensure that some condition or something that we want to check in the code remains true. Some condition in the code remains true. So if I run this, the code will run without any problem because a is lesser than 20. But now if I make this 40 and then if I run the same code, here we can see it is giving us an assertion error. So this is an exception. So what happened, what I wanted to make true in my code has become false. So some error has occurred in the code. So this gives rise to this error, and because we have used the assert statement, it gives rise to an assertion error. So similar to this, there could be different kinds of errors that come up in a program, because of which the normal flow of a program gets disrupted. So the code, instead of terminating successfully, it terminates with errors. Abnormal termination occurs. So we want to avoid this, because whenever programmers write code, it is important that the program doesn't crash anytime. So for this, it is important for us to handle any exceptions that may come up in the program. So this is where we use exception handling. So just like the other languages, we have try in Python also. So the syntax would be try, and inside try we would be adding those statements that we want to check for errors. So we will take one example: a equal to 10, b equal to 5, and c equal to a divided by b. So and maybe we can print c. Now this is the try block. Now I will use the except block, and we can print some message. So how does this work? Now in the try block, any part of the code, any block of code that we feel may raise an error, may raise an exception, will be added inside the try block. And if at all this exception occurs, what do we want to do? That we will write inside the except block. So now here we will run this. So here we can see it is not going to raise any exception because the code is fine in all aspects. So we can see that it has given the output. But now in case I change the value of b to 0, so what is a divided by b? It is 10 divided by 0, which results in infinity, and infinity cannot be stored in any variable, so it gives an error. So we can try running this. So here we can see it has given exception. Now one thing that we can just check out here is, so if we try to run this code, what is happening? It is giving us this zero division error, and the code is terminating. It is crashing. How do we come to know that? We can see that it has not exited with the code 0. It has exited with code 1, which is not successful termination. So we want to avoid this. Even if such a situation occurs, we want to avoid it by printing a suitable message and making the user or whoever would be using the application understand that this is the error that has occurred. So in such cases, we will use this try block. So what have we done inside this try? We have simply put this code. We know that in case the value of b becomes 0, there will be an error. So for that, I have added this inside try. So once an exception occurs, it will go into the except block and it will print whatever we do. Now here I have printed the message as exception. So what does this also do? Now we will take, for example, I want to print another statement. terminated. So now if at all this exception occurs, like in the previous case when we had seen, the code crashes immediately. It doesn't execute anything ahead of that. But in case of exception handling, once we handle the exception, anything that is there after the exception block also gets executed. So here we can see it did result in an exception, but it was handled effectively. So it has printed that whatever, it has executed the remaining part of the code also. So here I had printed terminated, it has got printed over here. So this is the benefit of exception handling. Now one more example we can take. Supposing I have I directly print the variable x. So here what is the error here? X is not defined. So if we try to run this, here we can see even in this case it would execute the code, and we can see that the exit code is 0. That means the program has terminated successfully. Now there are different types of errors. Like before this we saw when we divided the number by 0, it gave us a 0 division error. So different kinds of errors are there, categories are there. So here also we can use name error. So now we will just comment this part, and we will see what happens if we would not do this. Here we can see it is giving us the name error. So in such a case, when the variable is not defined and we are using it, it will give us the name error. So this can also explicitly be mentioned in the except block. So here I have written name error. So if at all there is a name error, this part of the block will get executed. So we are making it more specific. It was a name error, so it has executed the except block and also the remaining part of the code. Now I have handled only the name error over here. So if at all I do something, the same thing that we had done before, b equal to 0, c equal to a divided by b. So here we can see that the program will still crash, because what we have handled is specifically the name error, but the error that has occurred is not the name error, it is the 0 division error. So in such cases we have to either give it properly whatever errors may occur, or else we can make it generic by not mentioning the type of the error. One more thing that we can do here is we can have the else block. What is the else block? In case the exception has not occurred, we want to do something. So that will be done inside the else block. So I want to print exception not occurred. So what is this? Now in the try block, what are we putting? The block of code that may give an error. In the except block, if that error comes up, what do we want to do? How do we want to handle that exception? And if at all this exception doesn't come up, if there is no error and the program executes properly, what do we want to do if this part of the code executes successfully? So for that we use the else block. Now here we will again use the name error, but we will define it beforehand. And now we can see that it has printed exception not occurred, because this part of the code, the statements within the try block have not given an error. So this was how we use the else block. Now if we want to have multiple errors, we want to handle multiple errors in the code, we will keep using that many except blocks. So now I want to do one part for 0 division error. So now I will print okay. So this is the code. So what am I doing? I am handling two types of exceptions. One is the name error and one is the 0 division error. So we can check it out also. If I do the same thing as before, b equal to 0, and if I try to print a divided by b. So there is no name error in this code, but there is a 0 division error. So we can do the same thing. Here we can see that it has handled the exception by printing that statement. And also if you have any other part of the code, that will also get executed successfully. So this is the reason we handle exceptions, so that we avoid our program crashing or terminating abnormally. We can see that the exit code is 0 again. So in Python, to handle exceptions, we have looked at different concepts. One is the try block, in which we add that part of the code which may raise an exception. Then we have the except block, in which we actually give the exception handling code, what we want to do if at all this error occurs. So if you have we can either keep it generic by not mentioning the type of error, or else if we want to specifically give the type of the error, we will mention it by different except blocks. One is for the name error, one is for the zero division error, and so on. And if at all no exception has come up because of this part of the code, if we want to do something in that case, we will do it inside the else block. So this is how we handle exceptions in Python. Hope you have understood how to do it. So in the upcoming videos, we will be looking at some more concepts of Python, so that we can start coding in Python effectively. If you all like the video, do share it, and also subscribe to Ebenezer Tutorials and press the bell icon for immediate notifications. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and also share it with your friends and relatives. And don't forget to subscribe to Ebenezer Tutorials to stay tuned. Thank you.